think we're on.
Are we live?
Is it live? Are we? Is this on? Is it on?
Why is it?
Is it on? What you got going on?
I don't know what the.
Okay.
Come on.
All right. Well, hey, kittens. How y'all doing?
What's going on here?
What's going on?
What's happening?
Going on.
Did you turn the volume down? Oh, well, did you turn the volume down on the music?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why, because I was trying to play something. Oh, okay. All right.
Listen.
All right, hold on. Let me hit this go live.
We gotta get back into the swing.
Okay.
Listen.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Yes, there we go. All right. Yes.
Today is August the 1st.
There, we're live. Okay, there we go. All right. All right. Yes, there we go.
Today is August the 1st, 2018.
August the 1st. Hallelujah.
Right. I am Epic.
And I am Dominion.
And welcome to the
Welcome.
BGKH show episode
Welcome.
number
26.
Damn.
Yes, 26.
Damn.
26.
Oh my God.
Back from hiatus, y'all.
Right. So for those of you that didn't know, the BGKH show, which stands for the blacks, the gays, the kinky,
And all the
humans. So we're back. We back, y'all.
We back. We ready. We ready.
So we are back exclusively on Vox Power 37.3. And thank you all for tuning in to VoxWave.com. And thank you all for tuning in on Facebook Live. And thank you all for tuning in on Dominion's page, on Epic's page, on Instagram, on Facebook, Snapchat, everybody else. Everybody, everywhere. Thank you all, thank you all, thank you all, thank you all. And thank you all for allowing us to have a halfway decent summer.
I know, right?
Because it was... summertime is some fun time, and you need to kind of
summertime. Oh, I did a lot.
We only had a month.
We had a month, but it was a month.
Right.
It was chock-a-block. I'm gonna talk about 5 things. I've got a list, but I'm gonna let you go first. So what did you do this month?
So okay. So this month we started off with so the 4th of July we had a council meeting in Atlanta. So Atlanta was fun. For me, it was a good time because I was able to reconnect with a couple friends and one in particular down in Atlanta, and had a good time.
When I first saw you,
yeah, it was one of those type of things.
I said, "Oh my."
Yes, I did say, "Oh my," and he said, "Oh my," and there was a whole bunch of "oh my's" at some particular point, but. Anyway, so let's see. What else did I do? Oh, jeez. Nothing. My summer and my week, my month is not gonna be complete without some mama drama, and you know we're gonna go through all that. Let's see.
Just give us the highlights.
There are no highlights. They're all lowlights.
The lowlights.
They're all lowlights.
I mean, people are interested.
So listen, okay. So, same old stuff with mom. It becomes a thing where I'm realizing that now she's becoming
it's accelerating.
It's accelerating, and it's becoming
that's tough.
It's becoming a problem, and it's becoming a problem for me from the standpoint of family that wants to help. And so then helping becomes making suggestions, but your suggestions then take the tone of this is what you're going to do. And so that becomes a problem for me.
Well, yes.
That becomes a problem for me, and but that's another story.
Yes.
But anyway, spent a lot of time with just reconnecting with people, brothers in the organization, friends. One of my good friends, he is my oldest Betty, Dana, who actually, thank you for this shirt, Dana, because we had this conversation about Plava, and he actually came through on his way down.
Is that Plava Laguna?
That's Plava Laguna, come on.
The diva, okay, all right.
He was on his way down to New Orleans, him and his husband. They stopped in, put them together, or put them up for the evening. Laughed and joked with them. They also stopped back up on their way from New Orleans and going through Key West and Miami and all these other places. And so we saw them again. And so I had some drama as well with my mom in the car and so a whole bunch of other crap. But anyway, thank you all, Dana, for being my oldest Betty, so I appreciate that. Let's see, had a good friend go in the hospital. He had pneumonia, came out. I mean, it's been like one of those good things that, thank you, Summer, and thank you for giving me time to kind of do stuff with them. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I was actually able to rest and sleep and get some good old sleep in. So, I mean, that was my boring summer. That was my boring time. So, but that's enough for me. What about you?
Rest. Ha! Rest. What is that?
We didn't say all the time. We just said sometimes.
Ha! Okay.
Yeah.
So while I did not have this show, I certainly did not rest. I certainly had plenty to do. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5, and that makes this 6. All right, that's 5. All right, I had to put them in order so that I could get them all together. 1. So 1 is actually out of order, but we'll start with a little family drama. So I've been trying to call my father because my father had some wind damage a couple of months ago, and we're just now getting it taken care of. So I've been trying to call him and let him know that a second contractor is coming over to do an inspection and give us an estimate, because the first contractor is a friend that him and my uncle found, she come talking about, well, you gave me the scope of work, but you didn't give me all of the prices. So hold on.
Wait a minute.
Okay. So when the insurance company gives you the estimate, they say, here are all of the items that we're going to cover, and here is the cost, and then this is the total of the check.
Right.
So what they did was I redacted all of the costs and said, here's the scope of work. Tell me how much you're going to charge for that.
Exactly.
And then she was like, well, you didn't tell me how much it was going to cost. I said, of course I'm not going to tell you how much it's going to cost.
Because I don't know. You tell me.
You need to tell me if this is accurate. And then if it's not, the insurance company understands that they might need to cut a check for more. But no, what you're not going to do is give me some bootleg-ass estimate and then be like, after they cut the check and the insurance company is like, this is a done deal, then you're going to be like, yeah, we need $3,000 more. No, that's not how it's going to go. And then she was like, well, we can contact the insurance company. I was like, if you contact this motherfucking insurance company, I swear to God. I swear to God.
Why would you? Okay.
Anyway, so I have a contractor, the same contractor that's working on my basement, coming by tomorrow. So I've been trying to call my father all evening, and the phone wasn't working. And I was like, is there something wrong with my phone? I rebooted my phone twice because it wouldn't just go through, and I called my job to make sure that my phone was working, so to make sure that I could dial out. So I finally stopped by there on my way here, and I was like, what's wrong with y'all phone? And then he's like, he said, yeah, the phone can dial out, but it can't receive calls. And immediately I'm like, this is a lie. This is a lie. And then my father's sitting there watching a TV with a blank blue screen. I was like, what's wrong with y'all TV? He was like, yeah, well, the dish guy was coming over to fix the TV, and then he came back around, sometime in the middle of the night and turned the dish off. And I'm like, this is a lie. This is a lie. This is a lie.
So,
no. Listen, my father grew up right around the corner from where I live. So I like to say that I live in Southeast, but I am not of Southeast. My father and his brother are forever doing hood rat shit. So what they were, listen, without knowing this for sure. I already know what they did. I know what they did.
I already know what
they
this
were trying to fuck with the dish to get free satellite and somehow fucked it up. And the dish uses the phone line too.
Ding, ding,
so
ding,
they
ding,
fucked
ding,
all
ding.
of that up. And so now none of that shit works. And I was like, listen, I don't care about none of that. All you need to know is that some woman is going to be here tomorrow to fix the roof, to give an assessment for the roof. But I was like, oh, that's a lie. Because Dish, I don't have any opinion on the reputability of Dish, but I know that no multi-million-dollar company is going to come in the middle of the night
and
just get up on the, because first of all, the dish is on the roof. They're not going to get up on the roof and just turn your dish off. I don't even know how you turn the dish off. First of all, you don't get up on the roof and turn shit off.
No, you
If
don't.
your service stops, they do that remotely.
Yes, they do.
They don't even have to come to your house if they want to turn your shit off.
And
you could keep that dish, because that happened to me when I stopped paying for the dish service or DirecTV.
Mm-hmm.
They were just like, well, we're not coming to get that. Just leave that shit up there.
Yeah.
They just turned it off at their base. So that's bullshit. So, yeah.
Okay, well.
So, yeah. So that's all foolishness. All right, so that's one. 2, Atlanta. Atlanta was fun. We reconnected. It was not nearly as shenanigan-y as I had hoped. Yeah. I was hoping for some shenanigans. I mean, we did have, lots of drinks at the Daiquiri Factory. And, that's... Oh.
So let me tell you how bitches do you. Let me tell you how bitches do you. The entire point of going to Atlanta was to go and hang out at certain spots. And the Daiquiri Factory, which is closing, mind you, closing soon, mind you. The Daiquiri Factory is on that list. So here it is that I get into town. That was Thursday, I think I got into town.
Thursday afternoon.
Mm-hmm. So while some people went down because the 4th of July happened to fall on that Wednesday, so some people I think maybe even going out Tuesday night possibly. Depending on whatever,
Wednesday,
whatever.
We got there Wednesday.
But again, they were there before me. So when I get into town on Thursday, I am expecting to go to the Daiquiri Factory because that's on all the plans. See, listen, these are lists because he is a list person. These are lists right here.
Yes.
So apparently, they went to the Daiquiri Factory and had big fun. Big fun without me. And now, this raggedy heifer is going to get on this live show and talk about the Daiquiri Factory that I did not go to, that I did not go and get my drink from, that I even brought it up and said, they even suggested, well, we can go back. We can go back. But did I go to the Daiquiri Factory? No, I don't think so. Did I get something to drink? No, I don't think so. Was I able to participate in the Bob Marley? No, I don't think so. But continue.
Oh, this is awkward. We also went to Zaxby's.
I don't give 2 fucks about Zaxby's. Fuck that hoe. I don't even like that hoe. But all I do know is that the Daiquiri Factory, which is closing,
not yet. They don't have a firm date, so we maybe we'll get back there at some.
Insert comment in this look.
I'll make you a daiquiri at the house.
Continue on.
Okay, so Atlanta was fun, but not nearly as shenanigan-y as it usually.
We did have a photo shoot, which is okay.
We did have our epic photo shoot
from the from the standpoint of the career woman.
Yes.
A
career women.
Yes, career women.
So this was hats and wigs and scarves. Yes, so and it did go beautifully. It would have been. We really were planning to go back to the Daiquiri Factory, but things just sort of things fell apart. So
big fun.
That was unfortunate.
At the Daiquiri Factory.
So. Then after that, I made it down. I was forced to go to San Antonio. So what had happened was, listen, when I say forced, I was forced. This was for work because I had no interest and no desire to go to San Antonio because since I don't travel very often, I have to pay for work. I don't travel very often for work. I don't have a corporate credit card, which means I have to pay for travel up front. So I had to front $2,000 of expenses for the airfare and the hotel. And the reason it was because we learned the last time we were supposed to go to San Antonio and the trip got canceled. Well, since I bought a non-refundable ticket, that actually worked out fine because I was able to use that money to fly. That covered my trip to LLC.
Okay.
But still, so I had to spend, instead of the $250 that it would have cost for the non-refundable ticket to San Antonio, I had to buy the $1,200 ticket refundable to San Antonio. Okay. Now, I am getting my money back, but still.
Right.
So I made up for it by fisting someone.
And there you have it, folks.
So that was fun. Lots of fun. And he was only like this tall.
Checks and balances.
He was only like this tall, and I got like
Give and take.
I got like my whole elbow up, and it was like
He's a professional.
he was. Oh, he was a professional. It wasn't any like. It wasn't any like. It was all like.
And you went straight in, just fall in. Like, got it. Brace yourself before you fight. Brace yourself, Effie. Whoa!
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he wasn't. He needed to do a deeper cleaning regimen, but that was towards the end. I mean, I have a big hand, so it was like Roto-Rooter, that's the name, and away goes trouble down the drain. Or up the drain, as the case may be. But anyway, so
down the drain, apparently.
So I had that was fun, and that was a little shenanigan-y, but mostly San Antonio was boring. Then we had Kink Fest here in D.C., and shout out to our brother Gray, who helped put that on for the second year in a row. And I gave a lovely ass play demo with my little brother Orion, who really was the star. I was really...
You were just there.
Yeah, I was just there, just the conduit.
You were just there.
And, well, he performed.
He performed.
He performed.
He gave him an audience, and he
gave a show, and it was wonderful, and that was beautiful, and I even got a date out of it. The next day, I did get a date out of it. The dudes that were sitting behind me, the one that had the collar.
I know you're talking about.
That's a story for offline.
Okay, because isn't it? Oh, okay. Well.
No, not that one, but the other one.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, not the one that's but the other one.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay.
So so that was fun. So that worked out fine.
Okay.
So that was that.
So listen, I am laughing because some of these things, when they happen, I'm here and I'm here with them when it happened, or I've been called when it happened, and this is one of those things that I was called when it happened, and I was like, what?
So Tuesday,
okay,
a week ago, I get a text from my roommate, and it's a picture of a broken window that's clearly in my house and clearly upstairs, but I couldn't readily identify where in the house it was. And, he's clumsy by his own admission. And so I'm like, how the fuck did you break a window? And then and the caption is, so this happened. And then he sends me like another picture, and then he sends me pictures of the driveway that shows leaves in the driveway. And then he finally shows the picture of like a close-up of a tree. And then I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And then he says, a tree fell on the house. I was like, you should have led with that. And it was already near the end of the day. It was already like 4:30, so, I packed up my shit and left. And so grabbed all of my stuff, and I'm on my way home, and I'm at Metro Center, so I'm about halfway home, and I get another text from him that says, they're here. And you're like, who the fuck is they?
They're here.
Right. It was like, who the fuck is they?
Yeah.
And then he texts back and he says, the fire department is here. And now I'm in like real panic mode. Because I'm like, is the house on fire? What the fuck is going on? So then I call, and then so he puts the fire department on the phone, and I can't understand what the fuck anybody is saying because everybody's yelling. Well, not everybody. He's yelling. Listen, I love him, but he's a nervous Nelly. You listen, I'm going to say this, and I don't care if he hears it. If there's ever a zombie apocalypse, he will be the first bitch that we have to kill. Because you know how, like in the movies, there's always that person or those people that are like, we're all gonna die, we're all gonna die, we're all gonna die. And you're just like, girl, if you do not get it together and shut the fuck up. Like, remember that movie, what was it?
Aliens was one of them.
Not Aliens. Was it Airplane with Leslie Nielsen?
Oh, and they had the line of people.
Where the one chick wouldn't stop screaming and everybody lined up to slap the shit out of her. He would be that dude. Yeah. And so he was just like freaking out, and I'm just like, so when I get home, so you know, whenever a crisis happens, I'm immediately like,
how do you fix it?
How do I solve it? Yeah. When my house really did burn down, my sister, and listen, I'm not really shading people who, you know, because my sister was like freaking out when my actual house burned down and my father was burned in the fire. I'm like, all right, so what do we need to do? I got to get dad out of the basement. We got to do this. Somebody got to remain calm, and I'm that person. So I get home. I was like, all right. So I go in the back. I look, and I'm like, all right. So the tree fell on the house, not in the house. So it didn't like fall straight through the house, through the second floor into the first floor, and like that. Right. So it's resting on the house, which is terrible, but it could have been way worse.
Yes, indeed.
So then
the tree it's from the back.
It's from the back, diagonal. It fell from that other bitch's yard, diagonally across, fucked up the fence that I had just gotten repaired from that storm, and fell all the way across, damaged several of the
wires.
No, damaged several of the solar panels and fell on the roof. So the roof is partially crushed, but it's still not terrible.
Okay.
So anyway, and so then I go upstairs and I see this broken window, but I look and I'm like, well, I mean, there is no penetration. It's not like there's no branches or anything in the house or anything. So it's not as bad as it looks. It's terrible. It's bad.
Right.
But it's not. It could be way worse.
Right.
And, you know, so like I called the insurance company and she was like, you want to stay at a hotel? I was like, not really, because I'm going to San Francisco.
Right.
There, nothing is stopping me from getting on it. And just because I'd have to pack up everything to go to to a hotel to pack up everything to go to San Francisco. But if ever it needs to happen, I know where I can go because this is why you have insurance, and this is why, unlike, my father's family, this is why you get good insurance. This is why you don't do bootleg shit. So when shit happens, you just call it and be like, I don't want to deal with none of this.
Right.
Listen, he was like, sir, you have $77,000 in residency coverage. So I did that math. I was like, bitch, I could stay in a hotel for a year and a half if I needed to. I'm not.
And there you have it.
But because there's absolutely no need. Because, see, that's what my family would do. They'd be like, well, why don't we just stay in a hotel then? But why, though? Yeah. That doesn't make any sense. I mean, and, I also look at the larger picture. When people abuse a system like that, even when you can, that's how all of our costs get driven up.
If you really needed it, that'll be something different.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Right. Now, if the roof really had collapsed and caved in, then hell yeah, I'd have taken my ass to a hotel.
Right.
But I cleaned up the glass as best I could, covered the glass temporarily with a plastic bag and some duct tape, and took my ass to bed. Went to work next day, grabbed my computer from work, waited while they came and did whatever they needed to do, got my ass on that plane on Thursday, and went to San Francisco. And San Francisco was shenanigan-y. Shenanigan-y.
So it was the stress reliever that you needed.
It was the stress. It was the San Francisco treat. I had several San Francisco treats.
Yeah, I saw the one Instagram thing.
Yeah, so we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Which was, by the way, shady bitches.
We'll get to that. Mm-hmm. So, Friday night, we went to, we didn't do shit. We went to the Eagle, and then everybody else in the room was like, I'm tired. And they were like, what you gonna do? I was like, I'm going to the sex club. We flew all the way across the country, bitch. We flew 3,000 miles. I did not fly 3,000 miles to sleep in this bed.
Right.
No.
Right.
No. So we went to this spot. I went to this spot called 442 Natoma. So it's a sex club. It's in an old fabulous row house, townhouse. It's got this curved wooden stairs with a beautiful carved banister. So it's got, the normal sort of sex spot, nooks and crannies and everything. Then you go upstairs, tough. It's got a sign that says, "Fuck Alley." Fuck Alley was everything.
So is that so let me tell you what I'm visioning. I'm visioning a wall with two sides and just holes all the way down.
No, it's a wall. No, it's like if you go up the stairs and there's a wide hall and there's a platform with spaces for people to kneel on both sides. So there's people kneeling on one side, there's a sling on one side, and there's a cross in the back. And you go around the corner and then there's a large flat bed, and then there's a couple of nooks and crannies around the corner, and it was shenanigan-y. I left that place, I was so drained. And I wore a shirt that advertised, all of my available skills. So I wore a shirt that had a black shirt that had a white fist on it. So this guy comes up to me and says, fisting top or fisting bottom? I was like, fisting top. He was like, "You want to put your paw in me?" I was like, "Hell yeah."
The fuck you have to ask for, motherfucker.
Bam. And he also was not as clean as I would have liked. And so after like 20 minutes, I was like, okay, I'm done. And then some other dude was there. So I go downstairs and I'm like, because he was really not clean. Not clean. And so I'm walking back down this beautiful carved banister, trying not to touch anything because I didn't want to just like rub it all over the banister. And so I'm washing my hand for like, it can't get clean. Because I'm not really fucked up about it in the abstract, but neither did I want to walk around with shit on my hand for the rest of the time I was there, because I was there for another 3 hours.
And let me tell you, that is not one of those experiences that you want that you're not anticipating it, and so it's like, what the fuck? I think you're more so. I was more so pissed off when it happens to me. It's like,
right? Because I'm
what
like,
the fuck?
You just asked me to do this, so were you not ready? I mean,
that's anyway.
I mean, it's not like I just sort of took advantage of the situation. You literally asked me.
So you came here wanting to do this, and you're not even ready.
Right.
Okay.
Or maybe just, again, I mean, I'm not saying I have huge hands, but, people have said that I have a relatively large hand, so I don't know. Again, I'm not suggesting that I have a huge mitt. I'm not trying to brag about that or anything. But anyway, so when I go back upstairs, this other dude was like continuing to fist him. So I was like, either I cleaned it all out or this other dude just didn't care. And I think it was the latter.
Which is what I'm coming to find out there are a lot of people that.
Because once I started feeling, and I started like, and I was like, oh. And it wasn't just like a little, it was like,
okay.
It was a lot. So anyway, but once I cleaned it off, I kept going and doing other things. So I was drained. So I Ubered it back to the hotel and stumbled back to the room, and I fell asleep. And I was just like, whoo. Then we went to this really nice thing at Golden Gate Park, which is near the Golden Gate Bridge, called Flagging in the Park, which is, the kids with the flags and everything. So it's a benefit for various HIV charities. So that was really nice.
Okay.
And since I had only gotten 3 hours sleep, I really didn't go out again that night. And plus I was drained. Plus I was saving it up for, I was there for the Pledges Crossing. We were there for the Pledges Crossing from the Onyx Northwest chapter that day. So shout out to them. So that was really nice.
Hey, y'all, congrats.
Congratulations. So then Sunday was the main event, Dory Alley. So now I had been to Folsom 2 years ago in 2016, and I was just, when I had gone to Folsom, I was like, is this all there is? Because it was just very. It seems like fetish Disney World. It was very. Oh my God, we're going to go and hang out on Folsom Street and watch the freaks. So it was like kids, it was like straight couples with their kids and strollers and just people standing around doing nothing. And it was huge. So it was very
muggle,
very muggle, very vanilla. I mean, I'm not saying there was nobody doing anything, but it was not what I spent 3,000, travel 3,000 miles for. So everybody had told me at that time, it was like, come to Dory.
Okay.
Dory lived up to expectations.
Okay.
As we get out of the car, our brother Crypto dropped, came.
Shout out to Crypto.
He was looking quite snackish too. He was.
Just listen. Just make it happen.
I'm going to.
I mean,
I was busy.
Okay.
And he was, he went. He to his credit, he disappeared quickly.
Listen. In a heartbeat, because I lost that fool in New York. Where the fuck did he go?
Right.
What the fuck?
Exactly.
Anyway.
So, as we were walking up, there were like tons of people just walking around naked, and even people that weren't naked in terms of not wearing any clothes had on clothes that were see-through.
Mm-hmm.
People were doing all kinds of things. There was like a piss pool where people were getting pissed on. They had a roped off area where people were getting flogged and spanked and caned. And they had a naked twister, and I was at the powerhouse, carrying on and getting a little shenanigan-y there. There was a dude in a circle of dicks, and he was just, he was like, I love dick, and he was just like sucking everybody off. That was lovely. And so,
shout out for the flogging. Well, actually, he was doing single tail.
Oh, Danny, our brother Danny.
Listen,
with the
Danny.
tail and that
when
rose.
I tell you that video was
Yes. Congrats. Bravo. Bravo. Bravo.
Go on, Danny.
Yes, go and do your damn thing. And so I'm coming out of the powerhouse, after being in there for like an hour, and that was all fun. And I'm meeting up with the brothers, and this cute guy just comes and stands in front of me, right? Puts his hand down my pants, pulls my dick out, drops to his knees, and starts sucking me off. And I'm like, Happy Dory!
I mean, I kind of feel like that's what Folsom should have been like.
That's what I thought it was going to be, but Dory is so much. I'm never going to Folsom again unless for some reason work or something else finds me in San Francisco.
Next year already for Dory?
It's always the last Sunday. We're going. It's always the last weekend in July.
On the experience. Experience.
Yeah, we're going to talk. We're going to talk about this more offline too.
Okay.
And then so I posted that picture with a little block, and then some bitch.
Little bitch.
Some bitch posted. He was like, he says, "Guess I'll skip the AIDS fest," and I'm like, you weren't invited, so stay in Jacksonville, asshole. So, and then he got blocked from, on Twitter, on Instagram and Facebook. But listen,
but the implications were even larger, like you were even saying in the post about this asshole's comment.
Right? Are you saying that I have AIDS, or San Francisco is an AIDS fest, or
and why are you shaming?
Folsom is an AIDS fest? Here's the thing: you're mad.
Yeah, because
you're mad because
life.
You don't have the balls to go and live your life
to its fullest.
And if you don't want if you don't want to have condomless sex, then don't. But you can go and have a perfectly wonderful time without wearing a condom, or you could have a perfectly wonderful time doing any number of things. I got my dick sucked. Before this story, you have no idea what else I did. And you still don't know what else I did. I did a lot.
I know you, so I'm waiting for this offline conversation. I know you.
Yes. So that was my hiatus.
That was a lot.
That was a lot. And listen, when I tell you we're going back, we are going to Dory next year. So here's our travel schedule next year. I've already planned it. MAL, we're already in DC for MAL. Right. LLC.
Shit. Wait, today's the 1st. Okay.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
No.
There'll still be time. It's not a firm deadline. LLC. Claw Property.
No.
You're skipping Claw?
I'm skipping Claw. What I do want to do is BBP or Bears, Bikers, and Mayhem, because I've never done either one of those.
You know what? If I do come back to San Francisco, I feel like if I come back to San Francisco, I might come for IMSL.
So Imzo might be nice because I've heard
Yeah,
great things
because
about
you know
him.
we really do. I feel like I need to show some support for the women in our lives as much as they support us. So, and that's in April too. So that might be it. That might be the move for April is Imzel.
Okay.
IML, Folsom East.
So I'm okay. Folsom, yeah.
But Folsom East is
Folsom
that's
East is up the street.
yeah,
But
yeah,
that's
up
kind
the
of
street.
that's
That's
also
up the street.
That's a family reunion too.
Kinky Carnival, and then.
Well, there's probably going to be a.
But there's a wet Willie's in New Orleans. I mean, there's either a Wet Willie's or a Daiquiri. There's either a Wet Willie's. I know there's like a Cirque Daiquiri Factory. There's another, but then there's either a Wet Willie's or a Fat Tuesdays in New Orleans. So we've got other places to go in New Orleans. I mean, in Atlanta.
But again, shout out to In Time Onyx for making the Atlanta trip also kind of fun and festive as well, because there was a lot going on.
Oh,
there was a lot.
I forgot.
There was a lot.
All of the shenanigans that went on at his apartment.
There was a lot going on.
There was so much shenanigans.
So thank you for that, In Time. I appreciated that,
including phone calls being made by people getting fucked to other people, because someone was like, "I want you to call Apocalypse while I'm fucking you." I was like, "That's hot."
What?
Yes, yes. What? There was a lot going on.
I missed that. What the fuck?
I think that was. When did you get there?
I was there when you got there. We all got there at the same time. Oh, was that the night y'all went to Wet Willie's?
No. This was at what's her name's house.
All right. Okay. So
yeah, but
I was there. I was in the back.
I heard about that story.
So that was after we left.
That was after that part of the story was after we left.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
Because there was some flogging going on. There was because actually, because the patio.
So the patio.
Yes.
There was shenanigans where we were, but the real shenanigans was on the naked patio.
Yes. Shout out to who all was there at the
everybody. No names. No names. We can't give names.
Oh yeah. Okay.
That's too much.
I'm sorry. Protect the innocent.
All right. So let's get to the show. So we are going to talk about two things. We're going to talk about RuPaul real quick, and then we're going to spend most of the time talking about Pose. So RuPaul. We're going to talk about butterflies. Let's talk about butterflies. So once again, the person that we wanted to win, RuPaul, didn't win. But this time, well, at least I wanted to win. But this time, it was entirely her fault.
So I'm on the fence. I've been on the fence with Asia. I think she was good, and she has moments where she does things that are really good. But I'm on the fence with her.
Okay.
And I actually was on the fence with.
Hey Drac, how are you?
I was on the fence with.
You coming with us to Dory Alley next year?
What's her name? Who won? Aquaria.
Aquaria.
I was on the fence with Aquaria as well. I felt like I was seeing this young queen that's going to jump into something and not be able to handle what's going to get ready to go on. So I was a little upset about that. And then I really wasn't. I was kind of team Eureka for a hot minute, but I've seen so many other things with her on her social media stuff and just her attitude, and I kind of was like, Really? But believe it or not, I actually kind of was rooting for Cameron in some really weird way. In some really weird way. Because for me, listen,
the girls were not feeling her at all.
They weren't. But for me, listen, when the girls get together and the girls,
and I mean the girls like on the show were not feeling her.
Listen, the girls on the show and the girls in the community and the girls with the Z and any of the girls that's performing.
Liza with a Z.
Right. When they're performing, if you are up on that stage and you are performing your heart out.
I'm sorry. Shout out to Spesh and Kai for inviting us over to their house, and congratulations on your engagement. Oh, and that was the most romantic story. So they had a dramatic downpour in Atlanta. And Spesh has a little Mini Cooper that got flooded out.
Oh my
and
God!
Kai
was
rescued
like
him.
It
was like an old.
With a cape
it was like an old movie.
Running in
rescued him.
With the rain coming down.
Exactly, and rescued him through the water.
The music
rescued
and the
him,
water and the rain
and picked him up out of the water. I was like
the chords of like.
Exactly. I was like, that's some old Superman shit.
It was. So shout out to y'all. Congratulations. I'm here for it. I'm happy for it. I need to know what the dates are because I need to know if I'm dancing.
Right, I got some diable pumps.
I need to, right. Pot de soie.
Right.
Okay.
She's your queen to be.
Okay. So listen, we're here for it. But anyway, so I was kind of feeling Cameron in some really weird way. Mm-hmm. I'm happy that Aquaria won, but I kind of not happy because I think I was kind of liking Cameron because she was a performer. Like she was a beast. She
certainly
performer.
was a beast performer.
And that's for me. That's what I like.
But here's the thing. Aquaria shouldn't have been in the top. That was a setup from the jump because Eureka slayed that lip sync for your life between. Because remember. It was 2-2. It was Aquaria versus Eureka, and then Cameron versus Asia. In Cameron versus Asia, it was that ridiculous shit with the butterflies.
Yeah.
And that was her own stupidity because she was trying to top what Sasha Velour did.
Yes.
And
you damn near killed these butterflies.
I mean, Sasha Velour, that's her thing. She's a conceptual artist who happens to do drag. If that's not your thing, you can't just do some shit and just have butterflies come out your titties. It's gonna fall over.
Well, first of all, let's get into the capsules that were like this big any damn way.
Right, and I was just like, what is that? And then the butterflies just fell on the fucking ground.
You almost killed the damn butterflies. You didn't even add.
Most of them were dead.
Oh God.
Almost.
And wait,
most of them
Cameron
were dead.
Was sitting there looking like, it's like, this is butterfly. What is this shit?
Are those roaches?
They're like, what the fuck? Yeah. So right. But anyway.
But in that lip sync battle between Asia and Aquaria and Eureka slayed. She should have won that outright. There was no you both go on. That was a stunt from the jump because Eureka had 4 fucking costume changes. Worked for the number. Eureka just Aquaria just did this sort of energetic. Bopping around the stage. Eureka did some shit. She fucked that lip sync up. And so whether you really like Eureka or not, you cannot deny that she really worked her ass off for that final lip sync or that next to the final lip sync.
I think she did work her ass off, but I just, it was kind of, she lost some energy towards the end for me.
Well, everyone does. You can't maintain it, but ultimately I feel like it should not have been a tie because it was not a tie.
But also, Eureka fucked herself up with that outfit.
Really?
What was that damn outfit? I didn't particularly care for it. It had the next to the last show with the ugly hat.
I can't even remember. Only thing I really remember about that whole thing is the butterflies. Really,
it was.
Other than that. So I'm over it.
Anyway,
all right. So,
but congratulations, Aquaria.
I'm not shading her. I'm happy for her. It's fine for her.
Listen,
you can certainly see her growth because in the beginning of the show, she just seemed like an obnoxious little cunt.
I will support the hometown, the Philly kid. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it to you.
Good for her. So,
hey.
Pose. So when last we left Pose, Pray Tell had just found out he was HIV positive.
Yes. Shout out to Billy Porter for acting his ass off in that scene.
Yes.
This man just found out that he was HIV positive after going to get tested with all of the children because they were children to him.
Yes.
And this man cried his eyes out in the office for a hot second, had to get himself together, and came back outside and acted like nothing happened and everything was good.
Yes.
Shout out to you, Billy Porter.
So there were 4 episodes that we didn't get a chance to talk to. The first was Mother's Day. This was the episode where Blanca's mother died and she had to go back to the funeral. And of course, Blanca's sister has told Well,
Yeah.
let's just be clear that because maybe it's because we are adjacent to this community, is that until someone reminds you, I forget that all of these women were not born women. So it didn't, I don't even think, like they called him, whatever his name was, Miguel or whatever his name was.
Right.
His name as a boy. I'm not trying to misgender
Right.
him, but and so they told Blanca's sister told the entire family that he had died.
Yes.
So when she shows up to the funeral, everyone is like, "Is that
Right.
Miguel or whatever the fuck his name is?"
Right.
And Pray Tell had to get the girls all the way together.
Listen, Pray Tell was like, give her a moment to grieve.
Yes.
I was like, okay, Pray Tell. Listen, everybody needs a Pray Tell in their life. Like,
yes.
Everybody needs a Pray Tell in their life. Yeah.
And so all Blanca wanted from the family was the recipe. So there were two aunts.
Yes.
Blanca's mother's sisters were there. One was just like, I'm not fucking with her.
And
the other one was like, why don't you come back to the house?
Right.
And
plenty of food,
whatever.
We'll
so she's sitting there. The one aunt who invited her is sitting there and everything. And then the other brother, of course, is giving you the macho Puerto Rican, whatever. And then Blanca goes to take the recipes, and then all of a sudden everybody want the recipes, even though can't nobody in the house fucking cook. So eventually she gets the recipes, and then then it's like a flashback, and then this was funny to me because I was like, so Puerto Ricans put fruit cocktail in their pancakes?
You stupid. You did say that. You did say that.
I was like, ugh, who does that?
But then I got a little pissed off.
Some people do. So
I got a little pissed off at the brother trying to then come and manhandle Blanca. Like, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like,
right.
Listen, that bothered me. It bothered me. But anyway.
So also in that episode was Elektra. So there are three things that happened in that episode. That was Blanca. There was Elektra getting her surgery. So first of all, because remember she shafted the girls. She shafted the girls by using the money that they mobbed from the Salvation Army and all of that to get her surgery. And so now she's happy and everything about that.
But the shade that she got and the cold shoulder that she got from that man friend of hers.
That was in the next episode. But it was still. It's all running together. So then the last thing, was still this whole storyline with the white boy. Finally now.
But wait a minute, hold on. On the Mother's Day episode, one thing I have to point out, which for me was amazing, when they gave, they talked about the camera. When they gave Blanca her Mother's Day, and Blanca gave this speech about this camera to Pray Tell and how it was a gift for. Was this the Christmas episode? Is that a Christmas episode?
She talked about life in black and white.
Yeah, about life in black and white. But when she said it was so touching, it was so moving, and that was a standout moment for me. I enjoyed that.
Yes.
And they gave Blanca the Mother's Day. The mother pendant.
Yes.
Bracelet. But anyway, that was a standout moment for me. I enjoyed that.
Oh, and then Patty finally discovers that...
Baby! Miss Patty rolled up and she was like, we need to talk.
She rolled up into the ball and she had at the very end, she rolls up into the ball and she finds Angel and she was like, I'm Stan's wife.
Yeah, we need to talk.
And Angel's face cracked just a tiny bit because he was like... And that leads into the next episode.
Baby.
And the next episode is called Love is the Message. Now, this episode had me in fucking tears. So we start with this conversation between Patty and Angel.
Yes.
Angel was like, I fucked him.
And she shaded the shit out of Angel. And I didn't, I got it, but I didn't.
I don't think she shaded her.
No,
I think she was asking legitimate questions. I don't think she was, shade implies intent to me.
Let me correct that. She wasn't shit. She was mean to her.
Really? I don't even think she was mean.
What she said and the way she said it.
What did she say that was so
when
mean?
She talked about, when she started calling her, she said, but you're a man.
But, I mean, okay.
That's my...
I feel like in 1986, that was not something that woman from New Jersey had any exposure to. So how would she have had any language other than to think of this person as a man in a dress? And no offense to any trans people, but for a housewife in New Jersey to suddenly be confronted by the fact that her husband is sleeping with a transgender, they call them transsexuals then, with this person, and to not have that language and just to suddenly be confronted with that, I don't think that she was necessarily trying to be rude. She was just like, but you're a dude. And that was just, I don't even think that was necessarily an attempt to be rude. Nowadays, like when people know a little bit more about it, I think that might have been a purposeful slight.
It was still rude.
Well, okay.
It was rude, and it was mean, and that's whether it was 1988 or 89, or if it was 2018 or 2019. It was rude.
Okay.
Rude. But anyway, go ahead.
So there is that, and then so the theme, "Love Is the Message." So Pray Tell keeps playing this song over and over again because he is reliving memories of his first love and his first lover, who died of HIV. And he's now having to watch his most current lover die. And Sandra Bernhardt plays this, no-nonsense nurse in the HIV ward who is doing the best she can. And, she's like, Pray Tell is like, you can't clean up these places. She's like, listen... We are understaffed. We are doing the best we can. Yeah. If you want some color in here, you're a fucking homosexual. You bring some color. So they decided to put on the show.
Right.
And what was the song that
they sang Home?
No, they sang Home together. But what was the song that he sang first?
I didn't really pay too much attention to that, but I like them singing Home together.
Anyway, so they sing, and it got me all the way together.
Yeah, it was a lot.
And so, not Blanca. What's her
Elektra?
name? Elektra. So, her man, Dick, gets back from his trip and discovers that she no longer has a penis, which... frankly, is part of the attraction. He said very clearly that he likes a woman with a little something extra, and if she don't have that little something extra, you got to go. Right. And, she tries to come back to collect her things, and she is summarily kicked the fuck out.
And the new was coming in the door.
The same fucking time. And then Elektra is on a downward spiral. She is working at the same little show world spot that Angel used to work. And they played Private Dancer. I was like,
and I on the places.
They don't ask much for money.
And she was working. Listen.
Let me tell you.
That was everything. That whole scene.
Yes.
That whole downward spiral, unfortunately, was probably one of the best things that I'd seen. The way it was put together.
It was.
It was so well put together.
It played out over several episodes, and it was just so beautiful.
I'm your private dancer.
And it's continued to break down because Elektra not only took all of that Salvation Army money, but she also hadn't been paying the rent.
Not at all.
And so now Candy and the girls have decided to form their own house, the House of Ferocity.
Candy is hilarious. Why is she so hilarious?
Yes.
Oh my God.
They all left and formed their own house. And then there was the guy named Darius who had all of the shitty lines. And, he just had a thing for trans women. And they were all like,
they were like,
we all had them. They were like, girl.
And Blanca was like, bitch, what?
What?
I was like, what?
She was like, I want to feel special. They was like, girl, get you some.
Get you some. And Jiggly Caliente.
Right.
Jiggly, jiggly, jiggly. I think Jiggly actually is has transitioned or is
Yeah, I think
transitioning.
is in transition.
But Jiggly showed
She
up.
either is in transition or has transitioned.
Yeah, but Jiggly showed up. Listen, good to see you, Jiggly.
Yeah. So then the next to the last episode is called Pink Slip. This episode, gave me the feels too. So this is when Elektra is in serious downward spiral. This bitch is sleeping on benches.
Yes.
Spiral. And Blanca threw Poppy out because he was selling drugs, and he goes and lives in a drug house,
and he's also
and gets arrested.
Right.
But luckily, they didn't press any charges or anything, and he ends up moving in with the House of Ferocity. And so that's really kind of all that happens, Stan tries to come back home. Oh, no. Stan goes to the ball with Angel and then realizes that he is totally out of place.
Yes.
He's literally was just living this fantasy, and he realizes that he can never have a real life and a real place
and
in
Angel
this.
Was
Angel was just like, she was devastated.
Yeah, she made the right decision. She was like, "Well, you got to go." She was like,
Right.
"This is it. Like we not doing this no more.
Right.
We can't do this no more.
Then
No more. Gotta go."
And then we get to the last episode called Mother of the Year.
Listen.
So the episode opens again with Elektra dancing at Show World, and the curtain rises, and it's Blanca.
It's Blanca. Yes.
And Blanca, listen, MJ and Billy Porter definitely need to be nominated for Emmys next season. They weren't eligible for this go around, but they definitely need to be nominated. And the show has been renewed.
Yes, for a second
season. So it'll be on when
keep
Emmy
watching.
season
Keep
comes
watching.
around.
Please
next
keep watching.
Season.
Please keep watching.
So she really helps Elektra out. She invites Elektra to come live with them. And the funniest thing, so she comes. She rolled in, and they were like, "What is this bitch doing here?" And then she was like,
"Y'all get out of this room."
The paint and all this. She was like, "Oh, okay, we could just live like this." And so they're sitting there. And she gets her a job. Blanca helps her get this job as a hostess at this restaurant, which is the perfect job because she gets to be like bitchy and cunty.
That family together.
We don't serve the bridge and tunnel crowd here. So she got them all the way together.
But the best part for me with Elektra. At the end.
No, we haven't got there yet.
Okay, I'm sorry.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
Okay.
What was so? Ricky and Damien. Is it Damien?
Damon.
Damon is a dancer. Ricky is the boyfriend.
Yes.
So anyway, they get an opportunity to audition for Albie Shore. And it's so funny because now we know that Albie. Now we know this is in 1986. We now know that in 2018 it didn't pan out for Albie Shore, but in 1986
he was.
I do recall that everybody was in Albie Shore's world,
and clearly Elektra just on
Elektra was when they said they got they made the call back for Albie Shore. Elektra was the most excited I ever seen. And she was like, Albie Shore is this generation's Marvin Gaye. And I was just like, what?
Wow. I was like, wow.
What?
Yeah, I was like, wow.
What? Okay.
And she was like, I have the cassette tape. I'm going to go get it. I said, oh my God, Elektra. But you know what? Listen.
Sure.
Listen. I'm not even gonna lie. Albie Shore stayed in rotation on my CD player for quite some time.
Of course.
So, yeah, I mean, it just is what it is.
So listen,
I was even a fan three albums in.
Right. So let me find this read because we're going to play this read. We're going to play this read. We are going to play this read. So hold on. Let me.
Elektra Listen.
So
I used to have problems with. I was talking about how like her and her acting capabilities, but you know what? Listen,
she brought it. She got it together.
She brought it and did it because this read was everything. This is going to be one of those ones that's going down.
Yes.
In
history,
the gay annals
of
history.
Elektra has now switched, and she is now walking for what is their house called?
Evangelista.
The House of Evangelista. And she goes and serves
named after my favorite model,
the House of Evangelista of Abundance. For us.
What are you doing here? Is there a tired old bitches on Geritol category tonight?
I'm here to walk with my house.
Not much of a house with only one bitch in it.
More like a studio apartment.
Didn't you hear the news? I'm walking with the House of Evangelista to help them win a trophy or 10, but mostly to destroy you. Aphrodite, I've got no beef with you. You may go or stay if you don't mind the sight of blood.
I've got nowhere to be.
Good. Then you can hear the disappointment in my voice as I count up the ways in which I've clearly failed as a mother. Look at the fruits of my labor. A foolhardy chunk who makes her living on the pole, and a brainless wonder who thinks the way to get curves is to stick Charmin in her drawers or to inject cement into her derriere. House of ferocity? You two are about as fierce as my morning cornflakes. You may have left my home, but you can't leave me. I'm in your mind. That voice saying you're not good enough, little girl. You're not smart enough or tough enough or glamorous enough to make it in this world. And that little voice is going to eat away at you like termites until your whole pathetic house comes crashing down. You think you're on the road to being legend, but you couldn't make it from here to the door without me pointing the way. You're nothing but a bag of rancid, rotting meat.
Right there.
Take a long last look at this filet mignon. I doubt we'll be conversing ever again unless I take a sudden interest in dying of boredom. Little Poppy, I think you've suffered enough for your sins. I'm sure I can convince your mother, Blanca, to take you back if you're willing to grovel a little.
I don't really know what that means, but I'll grovel all night if I had to.
Get your own damn
drinks. Feeling like a big man now, huh?
Cubby, Lamar, one chance. Get right with Evangelista or die on the vines with these withering weeds.
Let's go.
Oh, traitors, all of you.
Bye.
Rancid, rotting meat.
Let me tell you how I just couldn't take it. I could not take it.
Rancid, rotting meat.
So now I feel like at some point I'm going to have to learn that entire thing word for word
and to do the whole scene.
At some point.
Listen,
like at MAL.
I got some soda pads for you.
Right, at MAL.
Some wings.
Well, right. So we are slap out of time.
Yeah.
So
okay.
The BGKH show streams live on Wednesdays on www.voxwave.com from 9:15 to 10:15 p.m. Eastern Time and 6:15 to 7:15 p.m. Pacific Time. Episodes are available on YouTube every Friday. Just search for Vox Power 373 and look for the BGKH show with Dominion and Epic. Coming in the fall of 2018, we will have a live studio audience and AC. Hallelujah.
Yes, hallelujah.
Praise God. So, how can the viewers get in contact with you?
So, you can reach me on Twitter at EpicOnyx1. You can reach me on Instagram at IamEpicOnyx. And you can reach me on Facebook looking for Epic Onyx. And Dominion, how can they reach you?
You can reach me at DomOnyx on Twitter and Instagram, Facebook.com/DomOnyx, and on my website, www.domonyx.com. And on Amazon, where you can find my book, Alex and Alonzo, A Love Story.
I feel like I need to write a book now, because everybody I know writes books.
Yes.
I don't have any books to write. But
you know, I'm literate. All right, kids. Thank you all for coming out. God bless you, and good night.
Toodles.